Good day, everybody. My name is Michelle D. Clark, and I'm just a small town girl with big time dreams who God has shown his grace and mercy and has saved me from some life-threatening situations. Now, when I say small town girl, I'm talking about Harvey, Illinois. Most folks don't even know what that is. It's right near south side of Chicago. And I'm going to tell you what, even if you don't know where Harvey is, you definitely do not have to be a reporter on America's Most Wanted to know how Chicago got its nickname Chirac. With people stealing, killing, thugging, and drugging, doing all sorts of things. Selling dope. You know what? I decided I didn't want to do any of those things. So I started to be a hope dealer with my company Lift Nation, where I empower women to live inspired, free, and transformed. And in order to do that, I had to get my bachelor's in psychology. I got my master's in social work, and I also got my PhD from the School of Hard Knocks. Let me tell you something. I have definitely been through some things. It was because of that I made it my mission to be the Harriet Tubman of authenticity, empowering women to break the chains of stereotypes, shatter glass ceilings, and shed those baggage of past bad decisions and tragedies. So let me tell you something. I want to come to you all tonight because it was just something on my heart. And because a lot of people ask me, Michelle, how do you do what you do? How do you do what you do? You do so many things. How do you do what you do? And it just all boils down to why, my why. Now, why actually stands for an acronym. What's hurting you? What's hurting you? So I want to tell you a little story. See, when I was 14 years old, I thought I was invincible. And I just went about my life doing things, I wouldn't say recklessly, but I would definitely say living the invincible life until I ran across a 19-year-old who raped me. And after that, I'll say this. When he raped me, not only did he take away my virginity, but he also stole my self-identity. Listen, y'all, I didn't know who I was anymore. Because, you see, I always thought that I would be able to wear white down the aisleway for real. So after that, my whole paradigm shifted and I felt dirty and tainted and disgusted. I wasn't me anymore. I didn't know who I was or whose I was. And I started making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision that led me down a rabbit hole, a negative rabbit hole of self-degradation. After a while, I realized that I couldn't continue to live my life that way. I had a series of negative events that were eye-opening events. But it doesn't matter if your eyes are open if you don't then take action. And I knew I had to do something different. And so I put in the work, y'all. I'm telling you, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. But I put in the work. And I made the changes that needed to be in order to become the me that who I am today. Like y'all see this, transform that person, right? In order to become her, I had to make those changes. I had to put in the work, and I did the deal. I wanted to be that authentic person. I had to be that authentic person that you see before you. So I figured out who I was and whose I was, and I got myself back on track by utilizing certain different strategies. And we'll talk about that on another live. But I'm going to tell you what, let's get back to why. That's what was hurting me. Knowing that there were women who were girls at one point, or even women who may experience it in their womanhood. But knowing that there were women like myself who've gone through these certain circumstances that are life-altering tragedies, knowing that they may still be in the dark. I am that beacon of light. I am that beacon of light to help guide those women through these types of situations to get on the other side, because I know what it takes, because I've been there and I've done it. I've done the work. And so what's hurting you? The why. Additionally, knowing that there were things and people who were reliant upon me, who needed me. That's what keeps me going. I have kids. I have a special needs comment section. But the bottom line, I'll be talking about that, being a relative caregiver. I have a daughter, 14 years old, who looks up to me, who looks at my every step, my every move. So I have to be that person for her. You know, I have my nuclear family. The upbringing is from my parents, my siblings. See, I had to do it for them. All of these things and more and beyond, knowing where I see myself, my vision, my passions, loving, helping people, seeing the women who I work with get that aha moment. See them shift, that mindset shift that just ignites me like nobody's business. Knowing that they've been where I've been. So yeah, that's what's hurting me as well. It hurts me to see people who want more out of life and just don't know how to flip it, how to make that transition. They don't even know where to go to get the resources. They don't know what to do. They just know they want to do it. But because they haven't made that shift, and let me personalize this. I'm going to flip it around now because I'm going to talk about where I was. I knew I was not a lazy person. I'm not a lazy person. So why is it I couldn't make that transition? Why is it I couldn't make those changes? Why couldn't I do the things that I needed to do? And it was because of something that's called schemas, y'all. schemas, schemas. See, when I was raped, it shifted my whole paradigm of who I was and what I thought about myself. So a bunch of these strings of concepts of thoughts about myself, belief systems, if you will, my BS, my belief systems, all strung together. See, that changed my whole hookup. I had a hiccup in my hookup, y'all. I became unhinged because I no longer knew who I was. Those schemas, I had this negative self-thought, negative self-image, all of those things that I thought about myself, that was all obliterated, annihilated. I thought I was no good. I thought I was damaged. I thought I was tainted. I thought I was unlove-worthy. All those things, any of the uns or the nots or the lack, that's what I felt about myself. And I was hurting for real, y'all. And I was making decisions out of that pain. Bad decisions out of that pain. And I had to turn things around. Because I no longer wanted to be there. No longer wanted to live in that space. And I'm going to tell you all something. From the time of being in that space, that 14-year-old little girl who was raped, it took me over 25 years of healing, y'all. It took me over 25 years to get to that point. I ain't going to tell y'all that I'm over that. If you add the 14 and 25, I'm older than that. We ain't going to talk about that. Bottom line is, that's how much time it took me from that space. So from that space to now where I am, that was all the growth on. See, I had to get rid of all of that negativity. And hey, Debbie, I see you out there. I see you, Ali, you know. So the thing is, all of the feels, all the things that was negative, I had to clear that out. So I had to go through the process. I had to get the therapies. Yeah, y'all. I'm a therapist, licensed therapist, life coach, all that. I had to have a therapist to get myself through all that gook, is what I call it. All that muck. All of the negative things that I put myself through after I was put through something negative. See, when that person raped me and it shifted my whole paradigm of who I was. See, the act itself of the rape didn't last that long. Praise God. But the aftermath, that's what continued to shake me. You know how, have you ever, heard of or been in, an earthquake? And they talk about how sometimes the aftershocks are sometimes more intense than the actual earthquake itself. That was me, y'all. I was living that aftershock over and over and over again. I was putting myself through after what I had been through because of how I felt about myself. So when Mr. Right came into my life, child, I didn't feel like I was deserving of him. I sabotaged that, point blank. Self-sabotage. Oh, no, I'm not good enough. And I sabotaged the situation. I sabotaged the relationship. Boom, gone. Certain things, other things happening in my life, in addition to relationships, jobs, different things in careers. Oh yeah, I had the master's degree. I had the bachelor's degree. I had all of that. I had the experience, but I never went for those bigger type of, I guess what some people say, the mama I made it type jobs. Never went for those because I didn't feel my life frame of where I was at. I only felt that I deserved this much. See, I didn't feel like I deserved the whole kit and caboodle, the whole enchilada. I felt like I only deserved the crumbs of the crumbs that fell on the floor. Not even the crumbs on the table, not even the crumbs on the plate, the crumbs that fell on the floor. That's how I felt about myself. And I wouldn't allow myself to reach, to stretch. So now it wasn't about lazy. It was about me feeling that lack that I talked about. Me just feeling like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't this enough. I wasn't that enough. What was hurting me? That's what was hurting me. So again, put in the work. Change things around. And again, it is a process, y'all. And it is a journey. It's not a destination. It's something that we continuously, every time we wake up, when someone has experienced something as tragic as that, and that ain't the only tragedy. When I say, y'all, I've been through some things. When I said I got my PhD from the School of Hard Knocks, I've been through some things. This is just one of those things that I'm sharing. What's hurting me? What's hurting you? The why, W.H.Y. That was what was hurting me. And I continuously reenacted that. I continuously had those the flashbacks. I continuously had moments where I felt like I was back in that situation. Situations that I placed myself in. See, that first situation, some people might say, okay, I felt like, now I don't know if anybody out there felt that way, I felt like it was my fault. I initially felt like when I was at 14-year-old girl, I felt like it was my fault because I knew I had no business being there at his place. 19 years old. I knew darn well, the way my parents raised me, I knew darn well I had no business being there. But that still did not entitle him to do what he did to me. Point blank period. When I said no, I meant no. And then I froze. Even though his mom was right in the next room. Watch out. So the thing is, I carried that self-blame, that guilt with me, feeling like it was my fault, even though it was not my fault. I don't care if I showed up to his doorstep butt naked wearing a hot and ready sign. Let me tell you something. No means no. That's a PSA out there for somebody. Hit hashtag replay for the folks who's replaying on this. Seriously, it is not your fault. And it was not my fault. But I carried that guilt with me. I carried that bag with me. So when I talk about shedding the baggage of past bad decisions, past mistakes, and tragedy, that's what I'm talking about. One of the things that I'm talking about. I had to shed that. So I had to clear the fields. I had to have all the, now let me put this disclaimer out here. I am not a farmer by far. I do not do agriculture. But I've heard that when you do that type of thing, you got to clear the fields. Sometimes you have to burn the fields and make it so that way the soil is good again. So that way when you start planting stuff in it, that the goodness will grow out of the good soil. So you can't plant stuff in bad soil. And that's what was happening to me. I tried to move on without clearing the fields, and I ended up just growing bad stuff. Bad stuff after bad stuff after bad stuff, which turned to bad decisions. And again, how I felt about myself. It wasn't until I started feeling better about myself, shifting my paradigm, shifting those schemas, groupings of ideas and thoughts, theme songs, if you will. Make it plain. Theme song, Aaliyah, let's go. Rock the boat, rock the boat. If that's my theme song going through my mind, guess what? If somebody puts something on that sounds like, who do you love? Is it him or me? That goes with rock the boat all day, right? But if somebody puts something on that's either faster than that or slower than that or like, some kind of, heavy metal, whatever. Nothing against heavy metal, but guess what? That doesn't mix with rock the boat, rock the boat. So the thing is, every time something that was good was coming into my life, I was sabotaging because I had this song in my mind that I was stupid, that I was just dirty, I was vile. Nobody will want me. Nobody will love me because I'm used up, I'm tainted, I'm no good, I'm this, I'm that. Then I started feeling like I was ugly. And I started feeling like I'm telling you, all of the things that you could say about yourself that was like totally decimating your self-image and your self-worth. That's what I was doing myself. I was devaluing myself left and right. And when we devalue ourselves, take away our value, not only are we robbing ourselves of an experience that could be happening at a higher level, but now we're also training people around us how to treat us. We're also attracting people in that same basement type ground level. And that's what I was attracting. And guess what? When I attracted that, I was wanting them to treat me better, but I didn't feel better about myself. And I was attracting the kind of person that wasn't the right kind of person. So then when they treated me like I was crap, then it reinforced that I felt like crap anyways. So I was like, see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was no good. I knew I was ugly. I knew I was stupid. I knew that nobody could love me. I knew that I wasn't lovable. I knew that I wasn't somebody that they could show, like, be just with me. I wasn't even a side chick, y'all. I was a side chick of a side chick. Hey, that's how bad it got. That's how I felt about myself. So it wasn't until I changed the station, I started vibrating on a different frequency, that I then started to attract the people in my life who do care about me, who do see my worth. I started to see my own worth. I started to see my own value, and it radiated outwards. I started treating myself better. So then I started attracting people who were treating me better. I was able to show them how to treat me by how I treated myself. That's the work that I'm talking about. When I say I put in the work and it wasn't easy, that's the work I had to put in to change things around. It's another reason why I like Aaliyah, Rock the Boat. Because you see, sometimes you have to, you gotta, when you talk about rock the boat, work the middle, change positions, sometimes you have to do that. You have to shake things up. And sometimes you have to be shook off your foundation in order for you to make the change. Change is an acronym, y'all. Write this down. Choose happiness and never give excuses. Change. Choose happiness and never give excuses. What was hurting me, y'all? I had to change that. I had to turn it from my, turn it from my stumbling block to my stepping stone. And now I am able to utilize what happened to me, that little 14-year-old girl who had no clue. And when she was going through all of these things, that she was actually building the story of her life to be able to help somebody else, to help bring somebody else through what they're going through. That's what I'm able to do now. And I love every minute of it. I love every minute of it. So why? What's hurting you? What's hurting me? That's how I'm able to do what I'm doing. When that initial question I started out when people say, Michelle, how are you able to do it? That's how. You got it, Debbie. That's right. My story. My story. I'm able to share my story. I went and got the information. I went and got the education. And then I had the activation to reach back and now help others. That's what I do. So listen, I don't know what your why is. I don't know what's hurting you, but I would love to connect with you. I would love to find out what it is. So I want to give you all a free gift. Go to my website, www.michelledclark.com. That's MICHELEDCLARK.com. Go to the contact section, and in there, put in there, for the message part, put in there W.H.Y. Put in all caps, Y. Send it off to me, and guess what? I'll get an email, and I will connect with you. And we can talk about your why. And we can help you to get from what's hurting you to what's helping you. All right, you all. I love you all to life. I look forward to connecting with you. Again, my name is Michelle D. Clark with Lift Nation, where I am empowering women to live inspired, free, and transform. Take care.